commence the positioning of components for a temporary pier, which will facilitate the transportation of humanitarian aid into Gaza from the Mediterranean Sea.
Last week witnessed the completion of the two components.
The Parliament of Georgia has ratified a law that critics perceive as a threat to media freedom and the country's aspirations to join the European Union.
Tens of thousands of protesters brought a major intersection in the Georgian capital of Tbilisi to a standstill.
President Biden and former President Donald Trump will engage in presidential debates on June 27th and September 10th.
Plans for the debates materialized swiftly after the president's campaign expressed in a letter his willingness to debate his Republican opponent twice.
The opinions expressed on this program are those of the host or guest and should not be interpreted as statement of fact. Independent fact-checking and corrections are encouraged.
Can we get a cup of coffee in here, please?
Oh, yeah. Coffee. Coffee with a dog. A dog. Yeah, dog. You're a dog. Dog are you. Dog. Damn good dog.
Damn good coffee. And hot.
My dog is your mind's best friend.
Wake up, America. You've got a dog that needs walking. That's right, sunshine. Just put on a big pot of strong coffee and get ready to type your little hate mail with your opinions about kumbaya and flat earth insanity. Stand-up comedy? You want stand-up comedy? Well, we've got sit-down comedy. It's time for Coffee with the Dog. You make me laugh.
I don't know who he is. Some dude from Fiverr. But I like the way he says, wow. Look at that. Sign him up. You can find out who he is. Must be a Rush. Or a Rush wannabe fan. A Rush tribute. Doesn't actually do Rush. All right, come on, get on with it. Got a show to do here. Not really. Come to think of it, no, we don't. It's Friday. Good morning, folks. It's Friday, your favorite day of the week. Yeah, okay, it's my favorite day of the week too. Weekday. It's Friday, May 17th. Oh no, is it Friday? No. Yes, it's Friday. How come it says 17th? Okay, I got my dates wrong. Friday, May 17th, 2024. Oh, we're off to a rousing start here, aren't we? I don't know what day it is. That's because my calendar, you know what? I have a gig tomorrow night that I've been looking forward to, the 18th, but I thought it was a Friday night gig. It's a Saturday night gig. Today I actually have a double that I'm not looking forward to. Anyway, I'm here. Are you surprised to see me here? Probably thought I'd get arrested or mugged. No, it did not happen. Yesterday, if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'll kind of clue you in. Yesterday, as the show came to an end, I was talking about somebody in the real estate business who I used to work with years ago asked me if I could go take pictures of a house in Mastic, Long Island, which is on the South Shore, directly south of where I am, because he couldn't get anybody to come out to the eastern end of Long Island. Mastic is like the Detroit of Long Island, as far as there's some suburban type, cookie cutter houses that you could buy for $1.50, because it's just not it's a lot of crazy people down there. And when I say this, I'm not exaggerating. A lot of crazy people. There seems to be mental institutions that let people out during the day there. It's kind of crazy. It's a weird place. And so here's what you get down there. You get young couples who are looking to buy their first house because they can buy it cheap. They can build it up and sell it. You get a lot of real estate people coming in and buying these houses, fix them and sell them, fix her up and sell. And you get a lot of poor people who, that's the only existence they can go. The water table down there is pretty bad. And for some reason, it just feels like a different state. It feels like you're in, like, I don't know, some really impoverished Detroit. How about Detroit? Um, so I went down there knowing that, and GD was right. The key was in a lockbox that I had to have a code for. Taking some pictures of a house, but the area, as I mentioned, it's not great. But it was very close to the Papustak. They call it reservation, Indian reservation. Now let me kind of explain here. Um, there were no Native Americans on Long Island. There are none. The ones that were here were shipped off to Toronto during the great ship off to Toronto era of American history. So we got rid of them all. We shipped them all up to Toronto. There are no Iroquois. They were Iroquois Indians on Long Island, but we got rid of them all because that's what white people do. We come in and we say get out, and told them to go there. So, but there is a reservation now. The reservation basically looks like an impoverished suburban area where there's just houses. White people go there. Well, some black people go there too. To get cheap cigarettes for years and years. No taxes, but also cheaper. Buy them at the Indian reservation. You're saving money. But I don't know how to explain this, but the Indians there, the Native Americans, are like Willie Holmes, who I went to school with, the black kid, who I actually have seen in that neighborhood. It's just black dudes. Black dudes. They probably have less Native American blood, all of them, than Elizabeth Warren. I mean, this is what we're dealing with. So I had done some marketing work for when they first started selling medical marijuana at these places, and this is the reason I went there. To be honest with you, I didn't mention that I was going there because they 5 or 6 years ago I was doing some marketing work for some of these people, and they were starting to get into medical marijuana, and I thought you still had to have a card there, and I pretty sure you're supposed to still have a medical card. But I said I'd take a chance, see if they sell recreational marijuana over there, because I'm out of the white weed, right? So I'm driving through there, and it feels like, because it's all suburban houses, but painted up with pot leaves all over these little ranch houses on a like 3-block area, which they call a reservation. It's not like a trading post. Like in Arizona, if you drive out to the trading post, you're going to see people that look like Native Americans, like you would expect a Native American to look like, whether that's costume, because, whatever. But here, it's like driving to 42nd Street and 7th Avenue in 1976. It's just like crack whore. You're like going to Harlem to score some crack or something. It's just a bunch of black dudes out there, and they're like barkers. They got like cards and stuff, and they're like, "Oh, come in here, come in here," and it's just houses. I pulled up to one, the one I actually had done some marketing work before, and it says on the door, you have to be 21 or older to enter and have ID. I got my ID out, and I go in, and I'm just going to ask the security guard if they sell recreational here, or you have to have a medical card. And the guard was sleeping. I had to wake him up, and he was pissed that I woke him up to ask, do they sell recreational? And the place is kind of packed, but there's no security at all. Like the security guard's sleeping. So I went to the desk, and I said, I'm just looking for, quarter ounce of sativa. And she, oh, we got plenty. And she's like showing me all these samples here. Turns out very cheap and no tax. It's all cash. But she said to me, "Do you want a bag for this?" I said, "I don't know. Is this guy gonna, do I need a bag of receipts?" She, fuck him. And I walked out. So, hate to say this, but no security. If you're looking to go knock over any kind of like weed house, Papoosetuck Reservation, if it's I don't know, suburban slum area is where you should go to get your weed. Anyway, I did get some weed. It was cheap, good weed at much cheaper prices than the dispensary, the regular dispensary, which will charge you tax and all that stuff. So look it up, Papoosetuck in Mastic, if you're looking for weed. Stephen Ortiz seems to be missing this morning. I hope he's okay. Generally, when Stephen is missing, we get a little concerned because he's I want to say fragile, medically fragile, physically fragile, and we're always worried about him and his medical conditions and all that kind of stuff. So I hope he's okay this morning. I do have it on good word that the Reverend played to a packed house last night, doing nothing but what we call audience participation crowd work. But here I'm understanding it was a great show, an amazing show. That so congratulations to him. I'm sure GD was there and will tell us about it in just one moment. Right now, I'm going to tell you about Mind Bloom. If you're feeling depressed, anxious, all that kind of stuff, and want to get into the ketamine therapy, Mind Bloom is the place to go. It's a quick commercial. Just hang with us and watch this, and we'll be right back.
Mind Bloom is helping people achieve life-changing clinical and personal breakthroughs, alchemizing both the psychedelic medication, psychiatric care from psychiatric clinicians, coaches, we call psychedelic guides, and a lot of content and meditations and programs into this really transformational experience that, because it's delivered at home, costs a lot less and is a lot more convenient for people to receive.
Wow. Yeah, give me them. What's that little thing for? The thing you put on your wrist or something. It looks like a watch, but it. Good morning, gentlemen. GD's back to his natural skin tone today.
Good morning, America. MindDogTV.com. Memorial Day is the next we celebrate, but every day is a holiday somewhere, so get your holiday gifts here. We don't care what you celebrate as long as we can sell you some merch.
Right.
MindDogTV.com. Enjoy the suffering.
I like that seller you. Celebrate, seller you. Good stuff. Now, did I see you yesterday at the Papoosetuck trying to sell me something? Yeah. Let's start with at the Rev show last night. How did it go? Because I really did not hear from anybody.
Oh no! I didn't think you had heard from anybody because I'm still uploading pictures from last night into my computer. It was a really, really good show. When I post about it, I'm going to call it the best show that no one is talking about.
Well, I'm talking about it.
Yeah, but you're no one. So Stephen,
that's painful to call me a no one.
I didn't call you. At least I didn't call you a nobody. That's worse.
That's true. That's what you call somebody who has no. Never mind.
No prospects. A nobody has no prospects.
Yeah. Well, I get called a nobody all the time in YouTube comments all the time by people. They call me a nobody. Meanwhile, they have like 2 subscribers to their channel and like no views, and they call me a nobody. Which, I don't want to be petty and play that game. But if you're a nobody,
nobody wants to be Tom Petty. He's dead.
Yeah. Well, if you think about it, it's actually a compliment because there's much worse things you could be called.
100%. Oh yeah,
that's true.
Yeah, if somebody called you irrelevant, I think that's worse than being a nobody.
Yeah, this is your because I'm a broken record. This is your new mantra thing. This irrelevance is worse than not liking or dislike. I'm in agreement.
No, indifference is worse than not liking. Indifference.
Oh, okay.
But I'm indifferent to the fact that you just got it all wrong.
All right. Well, we have a comedian today, so yuck it up.
Thank you. It's about fucking time you recognize.
Not you.
Oh, shit.
I just want to say this goes to all of you guys because yesterday when we had an author on, Ron was ready to like slice his wrist. I could tell. And if that ever happens, and you're just like, this is a boring guest, and if you know in advance, especially, but even in the middle, you can say, just check out with the, hey, listen, I got to go clean my cat's pus boil, and I'll be back.
I have to go squeeze her glands.
Yeah, whatever.
You gotta go wipe my grandma's ass. I'll be back.
Exactly. Thank you, Alex. The point is, you don't have to enjoy that suffering. If it's boring,
that's our mantra. That's our mantra. We don't get escape clauses from the mantra.
That's one suffering you it's like your get out of suffering free card or something.
So how many of those can they use a month? Is there a limit?
Anytime somebody's boring the piss out of you,
they'll leave every time I talk. You can't do that.
No. All I request is that you don't all use the same pus boil excuse. Like,
damn.
It would be funny if all three of you at once had to clean the pus boil out of your cat.
We'll be back. We'll have to go clean GD's cat's ass. We'll be back.
Two have to hold her down. Two have to hold her down while I call the vet. Yeah.
So I don't know. In Pennsylvania and Maryland and Indiana probably has a few, right? Indian reservations. Do you have these places people go for smoke shops?
We have Indian reservations, but they're not Native American Indians. They are Hindu, like India Indians, and we call them 7-Elevens.
Oh, the black guys pulling the racist stuff here.
There are Indiana doesn't have any federally recognized Indian reserves. Michigan does. Michigan does, but Indiana does not. We have tribal areas. Like the Pokagon tribe has an area that they have, and they have a casino there. They have their own police department, but it's not a reservation. They don't have like land. They just have a casino and a police department.
Yeah. What about Pennsylvania? Ron, I know they had like fireworks places in Pennsylvania, which is kind of like the same thing as the trading posts in the West and stuff. But do you have like what we have here? Like they call them reservations. We got two: Shinnecock and Pupusatuck.
You're making those up.
No.
Oh yeah,
those are real.
Okay, well I changed my mind. We have a reservation here called Chicago, right down the road. You should check it out.
Yeah.
But they're not. Then I'm telling you, Elizabeth Warren in her body has more Native American blood than the entire so-called reservation there. This is a bunch of black dudes, Willie Brown, and guys my age, they're not even young kids, and they're like barkers. They're out with, come in here. Like it's like walking through 42nd Street in the 70s with all the whorehouses and stuff. Like, come in here, go strip show. I guess they're making money off of bringing people in somehow. They make a buck for everybody they draw into the show, but like probably about 30 or 40 of these houses that are built to sell weed now. They weren't selling cigarettes. I think they still sell cigarettes, but that's like their minor business now. All these white dudes are coming from all over Long Island just to buy weed there, and it's kind of like they're very competitive now. So they have to have barkers out there competing for the white dudes to come in with their $100 or whatever and buy what. But it's just very weird. It's a very weird experience. I should have taped it. You go in the guard sleeping. You don't have those. You don't have legal weed anywhere over there, right?
We have medical in PA.
Oh yeah. Do you guys
plus,
card?
But plus it's so easy to get, really, and it should just be legal at this point.
Yeah.
Just hang out at any comedy club for more than 20 seconds and you can get some weed.
No, it's not about getting weed. It's about being able to smoke it right in front of a cop.
Well, yeah, any comedy club except for in York, you can smoke it in front of a cop.
Really?
In York, they will beat your ass.
Say in Indiana. in Indiana, for the most part, even though it's not legal in any way, because you can get it from Michigan, Ohio, and Illinois, they really don't, unless you have enough to sell, they really don't give you any trouble if you have it on you when they find it.
Right.
Yeah,
Worst case scenario, they confiscate and that's it. But even most of the time, I've been caught with it several times, and they're just like, "Don't do it while you're driving. I'll take you in." And I'm like, "All right, cool." But yeah, it's super loose here.
And like in Philadelphia, it's decriminalized too, so you can do whatever you
It
want.
is here too, but I'm not 100%.
But
Either
I
way,
mean,
it needs to be legal.
yeah, I mean, people smoking weed is, on the bottom of the other problems in Philly. You know.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Whoa,
But
whoa! What problems does Philly have? Because I was thinking about going there.
I'll go to Kensington. It'll be really nice for you this time of year.
they have a bubblegum
Okay.
shortage.
Damn. Well, thank God I have my own gum.
Yeah. Are you a bazooka man?
No, the flavor doesn't last long enough.
Yeah, they definitely. If you're going back to your things don't taste as good as they used to. It's still the same flavor, but it doesn't last like at all anymore.
Right. It doesn't last. Yeah.
But one
the
thing,
the tattoos that you used to get will last longer than the flavor.
It's true. It's true. It does that right now. It's horrible. I hate
how
kids.
excited Steven got over that. He got.
Yeah, I know.
I triggered him.
This is a pain point for me, okay? Because I have an oral fixation I've had since I was a kid. I've chewed on. No, whoa. Hold on. I chew on things. I chew on things. Pen caps,
again,
erasers.
and bazookas that's very phallic. Don't ask, don't tell.
It's Friday.
Yeah, it's trash gum anyway, bazooka gum.
It really is, but I remember when you used to be able to at least chew it for a couple hours to be okay. Maybe like half hour at least.
Just
now
make,
it's like six.
Now I'm gonna.
It's 6 chews and it's gone.
Just take something out of your trash and put some sugar on it. It's the same thing.
Now, the one good thing about bazooka, and I will swear by this, you can actually use it to plug a hole in a tire if you have a flat. I will still stand by this.
Well, you will be standing by it because you won't be riding.
Yes.
The tire will go flat pretty quick.
And if you think about it, Bazooka Joe is the first functioning meth head.
Yeah.
Look at those comics.
Remember Mort had that long neck and a scarf? He had like an Ann Coulter neck on him. Mort from Bazooka Joe comics.
It would actually be
relevant. We are so fucking relevant.
Maybe the backstory on Bazooka Joe is that all the comics are actually a dream, or a meth dream, and Bazooka Joe is just in the corner of some trailer in Philadelphia.
Do I have the time wrong for Top Flight, or is he late? Or is he in the second hour? I gotta check this now.
No, he just sent me a message. Fucking comics! I swear to God.
I know.
That's the message he sent you. He just sent me a message. Fucking comics! I swear to God.
That's a good question. Good comment to send you. I just want to say the residual effect of legalizing marijuana here has been good on the illegal market, because it brought the prices way down. It was like $400 and $500 an ounce before it was legal here. Now the best weed is like tops $300 an ounce, but most of it's like $200 an ounce. So legalizing it has forced those other guys to bring down their prices. So
yeah,
it's a good thing.
But we knew that was coming. That was why the big marijuana cartel, what we call Big Pot, was against. Yeah, they were against. The decriminalization and legalization of pot. They've been against it for years.
They want to keep it illegal. Yeah.
Yes. We see a lot of people thought it was the conservatives and the Republicans who were stopping it, but it wasn't. It's just that they were on the payroll of Big Pot. Big Pot,
So with some relevance here now, the Department of Justice is moving to finally bring it pot down to whatever a different classification of offense below heroin and meth and all those things that it was equal to. I don't know exactly how that works. Without having to pass new laws, they're just bringing down the categorization of where marijuana is. And Joe Biden said, listen, Pete, nobody should be in jail for marijuana possession or smoking marijuana, which is kind of a 360 from where he was in his youth, or not even that long ago. He was an anti-pot guy, but I guess the poll numbers, they found that pot smokers do get out to the polls and vote. So he changed his mind on that stuff.
They just do it late. You need to get them early. You need to say to the pot smokers, the election is today.
We'll drive you. We'll get somebody to pick you up. Top Flight is a comedian based in Philly who also is a big advocate for autism research and stuff. And he's here with us now, thanks to our friend Ron Kane, who has been good enough to hook up this Top Flight. Good morning.
So who's the chair?
Good morning. How you guys doing?
All right, we're doing well. What is the chair about?
Huh?
The chair.
The chair.
In your thing, it says the chair in your little.
The chair? I don't know why I say that. It's supposed to say Top Flight.
Didn't you type it? Are you autistic? Did you type it?
I actually didn't. I don't know why it came up like that. I don't know.
Because actually, we should move that up to Steven. He's the chairman.
Say, what the hell, man? That's my shtick.
He's the chairman of the board, or here, chairman.
So I have a question for you right off the bat. Then first of all, do you want to be called Top Flight, TF, Mr. Flight, Mr. Top, Top Dog? What do you want to be called?
Top Flight is fine, sir.
Oh, okay, Bill. So you're comedians versus promoters basketball game. Okay?
Yes.
Two things. I have two questions. First, what if you have a comedian who is also a promoter? What do they get to pick what team, or are they just a ringer for whatever team? And do the comedians have to be funny, or can they just be sinos? Comedians in name only.
They can be sign-ons, and most of the comedians.
Sinos, C-I-N-O. It's a real word.
There you go.
Yeah, sinos. Only. It's a real word. Don't fuck with my vocabulary. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt. I just couldn't help myself.
He did mean to interrupt you. He's an interrupting bastard. Is what he is.
I'm a bastard, but I didn't mean to interrupt you. But I am still a bastard. But I'm sorry. Go ahead.
See?
No, it's a charity event. A lot of the comedians in Philly. We have also comedians outside of the tri-state in Washington, D.C.
Oh, so you got some funny people also then. Other than the ones in Philly, you got people from real comedians also. Got you. Okay, go ahead.
Yes, sir. I like this guy. He reminds me of what was
Don't
the
say your father. I'll come over there and whoop your young ass.
What was that guy off The Walking Dead with the dreads that had the lion and
he is Walking Dead.
His name was Glenn.
There you go.
Right.
But we have comedians, promoters come from different cities and states, and we all come together and we all fat and out of shape, and it's hilarious. Number one. Number two, it's a good event. A lot of children, it's kids friendly. A lot of people come out and support, and we got to get back into doing it. I kind of got away from it for a few years because I've been touring and doing other things, but I'm in a process now trying to get that put that basketball game back together.
So the basketball game was to raise money for autism awareness, right?
Yes.
So you're saying your comedy career is more important than helping autistic children. Is that what you're saying?
That's not what I'm saying. My tour is based around autism awareness. So the fact that I'm touring, I also carry my son near and dear with me on everything that I do. So autism is in everything that I do, everything I speak, and every show that I perform.
Very cool.
Gotcha.
Well, thanks for giving back. Not everybody is so conscientious to it's all about me, all these artists. And I do definitely encourage volunteering and being an activist on causes and giving back to the world, because we are very privileged to be able to perform for a living. Now touring. Where are you touring? When you say touring, the entire 50 states, internationally, where do you go?
Well, before he says anything, let me say something about Top. He is a road dog. Top is he is the top definition of being a road dog comic.
Okay.
Even more so than that other guy I won't mention him Josh by name, but even more of a road dog than Josh, because Josh will sleep in his car outside of a comedy club 3 weeks in advance to do 10 minutes.
Yeah, Stanhope was like that. Stanhope was homeless, pretty much lived in his car for the first like 5 years of his career. Would go and basically go everywhere. And if you could find somebody who I could sleep on their couch, but mostly he was sleeping in their car as a road dog. And now he's the star of the movie Road Dog. So anyway, so coming back to the question, are you international, just in the 50 states, just the East Coast? What are we talking about when we talk about
I've been dipping and dabbing in both. Right now, international. I'm doing the Carnival cruise, so we do go out of the city. You got to have a passport to go where I'm going. So, but mainly I do touch all 50 states. I just got back from Dallas.
Is that a good touch, or is this consensual touch? I'm just saying, like, do they want you in Indiana, or are you just saying, take it, Indiana, I'm coming to touch you?
Let me explain what's going on here. GD is very paranoid that he's going to be replaced as the token black guy on this program. So anytime we have a black person on there, he gets really confrontational. He wants.
It doesn't even have to be a black person. It could be a white person with a good tan. I will attack them too.
I mean, again, I know signs. We might have to sign him up to get tested for autism as well. So
he's been tested. He brings that up all the time. His mother had him tested when he was 5.
There you go.
And 6 and 7. And
so coming back to you now. So you're basically East Coast, or are you going all over the country?
Right now I'm all over the country. I'm getting ready to hit the West Coast really hard. I got a few dates coming up in LA and some stuff coming up in San Francisco. And like I said, it's just right now it's just mainly just trying to get my name and buzz as big as possible. And I'm just doing it the old fashioned way with really hitting stages and not the Instagram and the social media and things of that nature.
Rock on. Whoa.
Wow. Sorry,
no, that's fine. You lost your video there. By the way, I just wanted to let the guys know, next week we have a guest coming on who is afraid to show his face. He doesn't say it that way.
Witness protection?
Yes, he's a mob guy who's written a tell-all book about the mob, and he says he doesn't want to show his face for precautionary reasons. So he'll be on like that and just audio only. I look forward
can we
to
superimpose any face we want on him?
Yeah.
I was just about to ask that same question. Actually, can we put different heads on them? And
yeah, we could do that.
Cool.
All right.
So that's very cool that you're doing it the old school way. I appreciate that, and I don't think we can come up with exclusions to the rule, but I don't think you can really ever be a professional without the experience. You can get a crowd, you can get people to come and see you, but you're not really a professional until you've done it and felt it and can feel comfortable in any situation, and you can't do that without the experience. So
right.
Yeah. Are you booking yourself all over? Are you the administrator for yourself, or do you have an agency or an agent that you?
Right now I am self-employed. I'm doing everything myself. I have an assistant, which is my sister. She normally does all my itineraries for bookings and flights and hotels and things of that magnitude. As we know, women is the key to life when it comes to getting things done correctly. Because if I did it, I'd have been booked a show in Idaho and then flew to New Mexico and be like, why am I here? Like,
I agree.
Living in an airport.
Right. So
I've been beaten up for saying that, but yeah, I agree with you.
So yeah, outside of that, man, yeah, everything is independent. I've been doing everything on my own, just finally getting the attention of some of these comedy clubs. They're finally reaching back. And I'm also tapping into the new way, which is social media. I've been getting a little bit more buzz on TikTok and Instagram and Facebook and things to that magnitude. So just a combination of everything just to make it all come together.
Yeah. Now, while I'm getting people to hate me, I might as well go one step further here. I would not. This is just unsolicited advice. I would not tell people that she's your sister. I would tell people. I would give her some kind of Jewish last name, and tell people she worked for you.
Gotcha. You know, it's great. It's funny when we were talking about that too. So now that you mention it, that might be a sign from God, from him to your lips to my ears, because you know I don't let people know that a lot of times that you know that is my family, but she's very professional. You know, she use all the fancy words and all the big words. So yeah, she
I
definitely knows
used to
to
book
know.
myself and call people as my agent, Max Napstein.
There you
And
go.
for some reason, and listen, I'm already on the hate bucket here. When people hear a Jewish last name, they get on the defensive when making deals. Like this guy's he's a serious person to deal with business.
Right. I mean, with a name like that, you gotta be.
Right. So now you say autism is part of your comedy. What else, do you do political humor?
Nah, I tend to stay away from it. Mainly for me, my style of comedy is just real life stuff. Everything I've been through, everything I've gone through. Again, I heard you say someone was homeless. I was homeless once upon a time. So I talk about things about that. My marriage only lasted 6 months. My kids, you know, things to that magnitude. So those are the type, but that's my style of comedy, is just more personal.
Now, did you have all of your kids during that 6-month period, or I mean, did you like bam, bam in 6 months have all your kids, or?
Nah, my children are with a separate young lady. My ex-wife, we have no children together. Thank God.
Oh,
Amen.
bless you. That's a smart move. I've been there. I have been there. Smart move.
Yeah.
You know, there's no worse feeling than being married to someone and realizing that, wait a minute, I do not want them to be the mother of my kids. We're going to have to use a condom or something while we're together, because I can't stay celibate, but we ain't having kids. I understand.
Wow.
Yep.
I find it shocking that somebody in show business had a marriage that didn't work out. It's the first time I've ever heard.
Bon Jovi.
I'm on the list.
Bon Jovi, his marriage worked out. He's in show business.
Yeah. Now, the kinds of things that you draw upon, the marriage stuff and all that kind of stuff. Do you ever run into mostly women crowds? I've performed in rooms that are mostly women, and if I start to some of my misogyny jokes don't go over well, and and you get a lot of haters in that. Have you had that experience in talking about marriages that didn't work out?
I mean, not necessarily, not for me. I just, again, it's the humor from my perspective, but I also make fun of me and all the things that I did and how stupid I was for doing the things that I did. So, which now women normally gravitate towards me because they like, I be trying to get him to understand. So I've learned in this business, this is a female dominant business. Most comedy shows, most comedy clubs, 90% women and 5% men. So yeah, you want to cater to who the you know, that higher number. That's why I normally like to
That's
stay.
interesting, because I will bring on some women here who will argue that's crazy. It's always been the other way around. No, I think numbers wise, there's probably some truth to that. I don't know. What do you guys?
I mean, any comedy show you go to, just look at the dynamics, and I guarantee it's going to be more women than men.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's right too, especially at a like a club or something like that. And if it's a lot of couples, the women in the relationship more than likely bought the tickets. I want to go to this, and he comes along.
Yeah. How are women hecklers?
When they drunk, yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
In my experience, and I like last year, I went to 29 comedy shows. I go by myself, by the way, which is unusual. You never see somebody solo at a comedy club, but I do just to observe people.
That looks suspicious. It's like the old man going to a Marvel movie.
I know it. Believe me, I get the funniest looks. Like, well, first of all, they think I'm a narc. Usually, like, oh, what's this guy? He's a cop. He's got to be a cop. Look at him. He looks like an old cop.
Yep.
But what I observe is just like guys heckling. It takes a few drinks. And then the guys will want to be part of the show, and then they get obnoxious and all that stuff. And I've never seen a woman heckler in the last 5 or 6 years that I've been doing that. So
that's because you're in music. I mean, you're going to.
No, I'm talking about going to comedy clubs.
Oh man!
Nobody ever heckles at music shows. Sometimes we invite people up to sing, and they can't fucking sing to save their lives.
I'll be honest. Anytime I go see live music, I will scream "Play Freebird" as loud as I can from the crowd every time.
Even if it's like an opera and it's somebody like Pavarotti is singing and you're going Freebird, you know.
I performed at an all rap show and I still yelled it at one guy. So yeah.
That's funny because today I have a corporate show, well, not a corporate show, a facility show this afternoon, and this place that I'm playing, I got another guy a gig, and he plays with a looper. And listen, I'm playing for like people older than me in wheelchairs, dementia cases, these kind of people. And I got this guy this gig, and he plays with a looper, and he was playing Freebird. Fucking people, like, they don't know these fucking songs. And the rec person who hired him, who by my recommendation called me, like, what is he playing? Yes, he's not playing old people friendly music. And she sent me a video of him just like he was lost in the last solo of Freebird. Like, what the hell are you doing? Thanks.
And that's why you should never drop acid before you perform music.
Yeah, that's true.
To answer the foul-mouthed teacher real quick, I almost did, but my wife hit me before we went in and said, "If you do this, I'm leaving you." So it almost happened.
Good for her.
And you said, "Don't tempt me, woman. Don't tempt me." No,
I still considered it, but I did not.
Now, being a road dog, a road dog type of, do you notice different, I don't know, perspectives or different attitudes from crowds based on regionality and all that kind of stuff? Can you tell what kind of crowd you're playing by where it is?
Nah. Normally, again, I go in with the mindset of people are people. I tend to focus on just making them laugh, being my regular self, being myself, and being authentic, and it works for me.
I like that. That's a good approach to have. I mean, it's the only approach to have as far as I'm concerned. But I do think like New York is definitely going to be different than, let's say, Mississippi.
Yeah, I mean, but again, and it's funny you say that. I literally just did a show in New York last night. I was in New York, and I mean, it was more TVs than it was people.
Yeah.
It was like 92,000 TVs. But I've also learned that do your material, leave them alone, and if you're funny, then they'll start paying attention. And when I tell you, and I got the text message to prove it, the promoter hit me up and was like, "Man, you are a true professional. You got 17 people that had their back to you actually turn around and start listening and watching." And that's the token, that's the gift, that's the okay, I know what I'm here to stay. I'm not gonna let this defeat me. And even people came up and was like, "Yo, the fact that you stood up here," because all the other comedians, they just was like, "Oh, I ain't fighting with y'all. Fuck out of can I cuss?"
No,
Yes,
no.
Oh, we can't. Oh,
Yeah,
You can say everything but the N-word until 10:45.
only if you
Got
call
Got you.
if you call GD a cunt.
Which would be the
I don't
nicest
know
thing.
that. I don't know him. He looked like he got a firearm. That's all I'm
That's
gonna
what
say.
the C stands for. That's what the C stands for. GD Fenderson, cunt for
Gotcha.
hire.
But all the other comedians were just like, like, fuck it, I'm not fighting with these people. And I'm like, listen, they here. Let's make the best of it and find the people that are listening And then once they see them laughing is contagious. It was 5 people that was listening. They started laughing real loud, and then everybody started turning around and they start paying attention and watching the show.
Right.
It's almost like a comedy version of The Voice, where all the judges are turned away, and you just keep going, and like as they turn around, like, okay, I got him.
Yep.
That you
like
see
that.
that. Yeah, you see that at shows, but it's really a good way to test to see if the comic is any good. Because, like you were saying, Top, you'll see comics just wilt when there's only just a few people and they have their backs to you. They'll just like, oh no, they can't do it. But you just gotta go in there and swing that hammer no matter what.
So when you said TVs, you meant televisions, not transvestites. See, I was.
Yes, I mean TVs, television.
Yeah, because he couldn't tell if they're transvestites if their backs are turned because the Adam's apples are hidden.
No, I thought the 17 people were turned around watching transvestites, like a drag.
Like
I don't think I compete with the drag show.
Like it's competing with the drag show.
I wasn't at that type of show.
No, you'd be really a good comedian if you could get people to turn around from watching drag queens.
Then I'm good. I'm good then. Yeah.
Oh, why you do that a lot?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. That is my main market.
That just seems like extra credit homework that doesn't need to be done.
That's
you know,
me.
I don't think that's gonna do enough for me to prove much. So I'm cool.
When I was in school, if Friday came around, like we got out of school like around 2:30, and if 2:20 came and we did not have any home assignments, I would yell out to the teacher, "Excuse me, ma'am or sir, Mr. Mrs. Cole, whatever. You haven't given us our homework for the weekend."
I would have beat you up as soon as the bell rang.
So what I have
so quick. I would have.
I have a situation tonight where my second gig is in a distillery, basically booze place. That the guy he hadn't have an entertainment book. I only booked it Wednesday night. And I'm a whore. I can't say no. And I said to the guy, I said, I don't have any time to promote this. Don't expect me to bring a lot of people. But I can't say no to a gig. And basically, are you that way? If you got like an open date on your calendar and somebody offers it to you, no matter how difficult it is, no matter how far away it is, even if it's not a great money, you will say no to it. You'll say yes to it. Can't say no to it.
Yeah, I'm like that, and then it all depends on the person too. So if I got a rapport and a relationship with them, then I will show them some love, because I know, in this comedy game, it's hard getting people out nowadays. So money isn't everything for me. It's not something that I'm real big on. It comes, it goes. I'll get it. I'll make it up in other ways. A lot of times when I do shows for less money, long as there's people there, I can make a few extra dollars on merch. I have my autism t-shirts that I sell, cups, rubber bands, things to that magnitude, which will help with the proceeds on my end to make some extra cash and get to that number that I would like to get to. But
I don't like to promote people not making money, but it's better than sitting home watching television or whatever. If you had the night off anyway, why not go work on your craft, get better at what you do, and if there's a chance to make money instead of lose money, why not? I mean,
exactly.
Now, when you have your merch, does it say Top Flight or does it say The Chair? I just want to know how far this actually goes.
Listen, I'm not going to get the end. I don't know why that's crazy. So, but anyway, to answer your question, no. My shirts are built around autism awareness. Everything that I do and orchestrate, I carry with me. My son is. The crazy thing is, I work for my son. My son started his own clothing line. And the clothing line is called Stay Busy to Stay Out of Trouble. And all the proceeds does go to autism awareness. At the end of every year, we make a nice donation. And also, I wanted him to start his own business. So a lot of time when I'm on the road, the funny thing is he prints the shirts, he makes the shirts. I went and bought him vinyl and the press machine and everything. He does everything independent. And once all the t-shirts are done, he pack them all up. And then I take them out and I sell them and I bring them home the money, and he don't give me a dime. So I'm working for free.
I'm going. Not that you need my praise or anything like that. You probably do, but I'm not saying that you do. But you probably do need my approval. But I approve. I'm just saying you're a good man. You're a good man. That's like
I appreciate that.
That's above and beyond, because if my kid was making money, I'm gonna tip into it because I'm paying the rent and stuff like that. So you're a good man.
Nah, man, listen,
you're a better
he's a
man than I am.
businessman. He's a businessman, and he runs his business, and I allow him. He has his own account. I make sure I set my kids up for success, and the things that I wasn't taught or shown when I was growing up, I make sure I make it a priority to make sure they have those different things, and they get that all that life has to offer. Take full advantage of it.
Huh. I'm just laughing because I finally, for the first time, with the ability to do this has been here all along, to change the name. I changed your name to Top Flight, but I also changed GT's name to Cunt for Hire. So.
I was wondering why you muted me. You muted.
I didn't mute you. That was
the sign said I was muted by the host, and I think it was
Steven. I think it was Steven did it.
It was me.
Steven.
Oh, okay. Yeah. It said host. I thought it meant you because I know I'm a parasite. I figured you're the host because I'm like, living off of your fame.
Definitely parasitic in nature. I am.
Yes.
Right. You could change it back. I just thought, I thought I'd make myself chuckle because I could do that. Don't you dare change my name to anything fucking stupid. That's all I'm saying.
You'll be the chair too. There you go. Oh, it's it. Go Top Flight. Thank you for changing it. I appreciate it.
Yeah. So now I got to go to your website, comediantopflight.com. What's your schedule like? You said you were in New York last night. Woo!
Yes, I was in New York last night. I am actually, as soon as I'm done this, I will be heading to the airport. I am flying to New Orleans. I will be out there all weekend. 1 show Friday, 2 shows Saturday. Come back home on Sunday, doing a brunch here in Philly on Sunday. And then next week, Tuesday through Saturday, I will be on a Carnival cruise. So every week I'm doing something, and then
I want to talk to you about the cruises in a minute, but you're hustling. Good for you. Now, when you go to the airport, you're flying in the airports. Do you notice like redneck comedians who just lost hanging around airports?
I was going to ask if you stopped to see the Amityville Horror House while you were in New York.
Nah, I didn't get a chance. Listen, I literally got off a plane yesterday, flew to New York, went and did the show, and then had to meet up with my sister, and we drove home, and I fell asleep. So,
well, in the airports, keep an eye out for a power cord for a laptop. If you
got you.
So now the Carnival stuff. Oh, you didn't say Carnival. You said cruise. Carnival's the main.
Carnival, yes, Carnival Cruises. That's who I work for. I'm trying to be a residency on there. Trying really hard. I would love to work with them all year round, but right now I'm like a substitute. So when somebody calls out or can't make it, they have
how
me.
How long is that for? Is that like 6 weeks? Because that when I was doing that when I was 18 years old, I didn't do it a lot. I did it once or twice, and basically it was 6 weeks at a time. For me, it was cabin fever and all that kind of stuff. Is that what it is?
It's definitely no, it's not 6 weeks. Right now, I am just so they have the permanent comedians that they utilize, but I'm like I'm the fill-in. If say for instance one of you guys couldn't make it, or you sick or whatever, you just tired, you need a break, they'll send me an email and ask me my availability, and then I'll take the date.
He went overboard.
That is what I'm trying to get. That's one of my bucket list things. I'm trying to be a substitute. I don't want to do it full time, but I would love to be a substitute.
Are you allowed to leave the boat and stuff when you're on that cruise, Top?
Yes, you can leave when the one I'm going on is leaving from Orlando going into Jamaica. Yes, you are more than welcome to get off the boat. Just make sure your behind is back on when they taking off.
Right.
So that's why when people be like, "Man, I can't wait to go to Jamaica," I'll be like, "I done been there 15 times already." So,
wow. Yeah. Now, with the crowds, when you're doing it, let's say you do a week there. Do you see the same people at every show? That it come like do you get? because they're captive. They have nothing else to do, and
Right.
if the band sucks or whatever, we went to the comedy show last night, but let's go again. And then they are putting themselves into a position where they are tempting themselves to say, "Oh, do that joke you did last night," that kind of stuff. That is never any fun. Do you get that? A lot of
Yes, you do get that, but for the most part, the way the carnival does it is a lot of times they'll make you register for certain shows because you have to do a clean show and then a raw show. So you normally perform it Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
Wow.
It's 2 shows a night. The early show is the kid friendly, and then the raw is around 10, 11 o'clock. Some people do come multiple times because again, you're on a boat, it ain't really much to do. So, and again, if you're funny, then yeah, they'll come see you multiple times. I've had people tell me, yes, man, we saw you Wednesday, we coming back on Saturday, and every show be pretty much packed. The night shows normally are full, again, because it's not really nothing to do. So a lot of people will come to the comedy show, and then immediately after they'll go over to the club, which is literally like 2 steps away on a boat. So the comedy club normally holds about 300 people. They fill that up in no time. And then
things have changed since when I was young because the size of the boats has gotten ridiculous. Like,
yes,
because I'm 150 years old. When
His
I was
first boat was steam powered.
yeah, it was sails.
I thought you were gonna say the Love Boat.
The Love Boat was big. Love Boat was like one of the bigger ones, like those kind of cruise ships. We were on definitely frigates.
He was on an ark.
Yeah.
he was the entertainment on the ark.
So now they have these. They're like small cities in boats where you could have like thousands and thousands of people. So the beauty of this is you don't have to hustle like you do at a comedy club to promote and tell people to come.
Right.
You're sure you're gonna have a packed room. So.
Every single show. Yep. Because I think the capacity on the boat is like 10,000. So
It's a small city.
yeah, it'd be like maybe like close to 10,000 on one. I mean, there's smaller boats, but some of them, I think the smaller ones are maybe like 4,000 or 5,000, which again, that's still a nice, large amount of people from all different walks of life. So you meet many different people, and like I said, it's a beautiful thing when laughter can bring everybody together.
The
And
couple of
that's
times
what
I
makes
did
me
it,
enjoy it.
it didn't work out for me because the idea was you get room and board while you're on this thing, so you're not spending any money, but they don't pay you a lot. Or they didn't in the day. It was like $160 a week for doing 2 shows a day, and you weren't supposed to spend any of that. But like Ron just asked, if you're allowed to get off the boat, you're gonna spend that money if you're a young person anyway. So I would come home with like $8 and like this isn't working out with me. The idea was to be able to save that money. You're getting paid $160 a week for 6 weeks, and then you come up with some decent money, but it never worked out that way for me.
Well, again, I mean, it's respectable. It could be more, but again, it's just the opportunity. But for me, I'm a firm believer in the merch. The merch is always where it's at. If you're funny, I normally, when I go on those boats, I normally take about 300 to 400 shirts. And on a good day, I may come home with maybe 10.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had times where,
well, good for you.
Walked away with 0 shirts. So
yeah, the problem I always had with merch is I'm not good with that. I hate doing that. So it only works out if I have somebody else to do it, and it's got to be somebody you trust. And then the other part of that is bringing so much extra luggage wherever you go. Like for me, it's enough to bring all PA systems and everything everywhere I go on the road and all the equipment. To have to bring like 7 or 8 boxes full of merch was always like extra work. Setting up tables. And then, the only time you can do it is after the show where, if you have somebody else working it for you, that could be done at the back of the club at all times. So
that's why a lot of comedians, instead of regular merch, they have like edibles with their faces on it or their names on it because it takes up less space and it's more efficient. They see your name, then they pop it in their mouth, and then your name is on their tongue for like a while. Yeah,
smart man. Look at you.
I'm a businessman. Business. Business.
you go.
I'm a businessman.
There you go. Like you said, that's why you gotta have a strong team around you, and I thank God for my assistant. Schwarsky. There you go. I'm gonna say that name. That's her name.
Don't you think you thank your mom and pop for your assistant? You have to thank your mom and pop for your assistant because I think they were involved first.
Listen, don't be breaking down any fourth walls on this program, all right, Rev? I mean, Glenn. Anyway. Yeah, so you know what? Good for you. It sounds like you've got all the right attitude, all the right hustle. So we expect big things from you. It's good stuff.
Appreciate it.
I'm surprised because when Ron recommended you, I really expected you to be a slouch. I really did, but because you're one of the good ones. Because I don't mean that. I don't mean that like when they say that about us, you're one of the good ones. I mean you're one of the good people that Ron knows. That's what I mean by that.
Nah, listen, man. I don't care what y'all say about Ron. Ron is a good dude. Ron is a real warrior as well. I respect him. I respect his hustle. I'm actually got a show coming up with him in June. So if you gentlemen ain't doing anything, y'all more than welcome to come out. I would love to see y'all there.
Where is that? Albuquerque? No, Philadelphia, right?
No, in July, he's coming to a show that I produce at a private RV campground.
Oh, it's private, so
that's a nice place. I haven't performed there, but
we're allowed through the gates. Nice. That's it. We're allowed through the gate, and they tell us go right to the lodge and stay there.
Very cool stuff. You know what? How far is that, Ron? From me, like Long Island, is it within like 6 hours or something?
3 hours probably.
Wow, I will come to that. You know what? Oh, that's private. I can't come to that.
Nope.
I could get an RV, can I? Yeah, and get.
Yeah. I could put you on the list, Matt.
There you go. See?
Well, I'll just say I'm a performer, and then I chicken out.
Yeah.
That's what
bring your guitar. Bring your guitar and do the fucky sucky.
The fucky
sucky.
Yeah.
No, but I want to say, Top, I appreciate Top a lot because Top was one of those guys that kind of took a chance on me a few years back. And like, hey, can I come out? You know, I met him at a show that I asked for a guest spot on, and he took a flyer on me, and you know, it was like, oh, all right. It was different. It's like, all right, this white boy is a little dark and a little strange, but
let me explain that to you. He thought you were David Tell.
Yeah, maybe.
But I'm glad it worked out for you. You know, you brought it because you called him Top, and when GD asked him about his name before, I was like, my mind goes back to Tom Snyder. Remember Tom Snyder, old goofy dude, which is what I am now, old goofy talk show host. He had Meatloaf on, and he was like struggling. Do I call you Meat? Do I call you Mr. Loaf? Do I call you Mr. Flight? Can I call you Top?
Flight, Top Flight.
Top Flight. Well,
TP.
Top Flight. Thanks for being on the program, man.
No problem, guys. Thank y'all for having me. I greatly appreciate it.
Yeah.
Our next guest is actually Titleist, isn't it? Our next guest is Titleist.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say this too. Before I leave, you look just like my dad. I'm gonna send Ron a picture of my dad. You look just like my dad. That's why I'm looking like, wait a minute. I'm telling you, you got a twin out here, bro.
Yeah, please send me that picture, and
I'm gonna send you a picture. I'm gonna send it to him and send it to him. I'm gonna send it to you right now. But again, gentlemen, I thank y'all.
How handsome is your dad? And is he still slinging dick?
Nah, he's ugly as fuck, and that's why y'all look alike. Hey man, I thank you guys so much. I appreciate you, Ryan. Appreciate you, love you, bro. See you soon.
Thank you. Bye for now.
All right, guys.
ComedianTopFlight.com. You don't need the index HTML. It will do that all on its own. Comedian Top Flight. 2 P's in top. Thank you, Ron, for getting him on here. That was a good conversation. Enjoyed that very much. Just so you guys, this is kind of a cool thing. Kira Sedgwick. Remember Kira? Am I saying Kyra? Kira? I have to learn to pronounce it because this morning she posted something from my house doing something, and I said, this is my opportunity to ask her to be on the show, and she just wrote back, okay. So
wow.
So I have, so I have to learn how to pronounce her name correctly.
Yeah, you should probably do that.
Don't do your homework. Why start doing your homework now? Wait till she gets on the show.
That could be the first question you get to ask her. How do I say your name?
Yeah. That part, that's not a whole lot of research, but I should get it right?
It is Kira, though. I mean, that's what. Look, when Kevin and I are hanging out, that's how he refers to her.
Well, Bacon.
He'll say like, "Hey, GD, I got to go. Kira's waiting for me in the car."
Bacon is a carcinogen. I would strongly suggest you get away from bacon. So there's that.
Well, I try to stay separated, but at most I'm 6 degrees.
Listen, it's time to get to the news. We're behind the schedule here on the news. I have to go clean my cat's pus boil, but I will be listening to the news while I do that.
President Biden and former President Donald Trump will engage in presidential debates on June 27th and September 10th.
Plans for the debates materialized swiftly after the president's campaign expressed in a letter his willingness to debate his Republican opponent twice before the November election. This prompted a series of competing proposals and social media posts from the presumptive Democratic and Republican nominees. Kevin Sanders reporting.
The Parliament of Georgia has ratified a law that critics perceive as a threat to media freedom and the country's aspirations to join the European Union.
Tens of thousands of protesters brought a major intersection in the Georgian capital of Tbilisi to a standstill. The law would mandate media outlets, non-governmental organizations, and other non-profits to register as pursuing the interests of a foreign power if they receive more than 20% of their funding from abroad. Benjamin Wright reporting.
The U.S. military has commenced the positioning of components for a temporary pier, which will facilitate the transportation of humanitarian aid into Gaza from the Mediterranean Sea.
Last week witnessed the completion of the two components, the floating platform and the causeway, though inclement weather had delayed their final placement. With the components now being situated, the temporary pier could become operational in the imminent days, according to a defense official. Liam White reporting.
The Supreme Court will permit Louisiana to utilize a congressional map comprising a second district where black voters make up the majority for the 2024 elections.
This Supreme Court ruling represents a triumph for Democrats, who are poised to secure an additional seat in Louisiana under the redrawn congressional boundaries. It further marks the latest development in a protracted legal battle over the state's House district lines, which commenced following the 2020 census. Jim Kender reporting.
This is the latest news headlines.
Get on with the music. You don't have to put this music in the middle. If we make the news quicker, if we could do away with the music in the middle. Talk, Alan. Ow!
Walgreens Boots Alliance has announced plans to sell its own generic version of the overdose reversal drug Narcan.
Narcan is administered as a nasal spray, and its active ingredient, naloxone, can rapidly restore breathing if someone is experiencing an opioid overdose, provided it is administered promptly. The nasal spray became available in fall 2023 at pharmacies, drugstores, and grocery stores. Jessica Oakley reporting.
The iconic Mirage Hotel Casino on the Las Vegas Strip will cease operations this summer.
The closure on July 17th will pave the way for major renovations and construction on the 80-acre property, which is scheduled to reopen in 2027 as the Hard Rock Las Vegas, featuring a hotel tower resembling a guitar soaring nearly 700 feet above the heart of the Strip. Paul Gomez reporting.
A barge collided with a bridge pillar in Galveston, Texas, resulting in an oil spill in waters near busy shipping channels.
The impact dislodged sections of the bridge, which connects Galveston to Pelican Island, causing them to tumble onto the barge and necessitating the closure of a stretch of waterway to facilitate cleanup operations. The accident knocked one man off the vessel and into the water, but he was swiftly recovered and unharmed. Kyle Norris reporting.
3 individuals have lost their lives after a small plane crashed in Tennessee on Wednesday, according to authorities.
Around noon on Wednesday, a 911 caller reported an explosion in Williamson County, believed to have been a potential plane crash, authorities stated. The National Transportation Safety Board confirmed that a Beech 535 aircraft had crashed near Franklin. While the cause of the crash remains unclear, it does appear that the plane did break up in the air, Chief Deputy Mark Elrod said. Lawrence Keller reporting.
And that's the latest news headlines with Alan Edwards.
All right, let me just start here by the debate thing.
Oh, boy.
Trump yesterday was tweeting out or on his truthing out, he was saying that Biden is the reason that RFQ wasn't included in the debates. He's scared of RFQ, and he said, "I'm all for it, except he's not qualified. It's low numbers. He has no chance." Or what? It was like a contradictory. Biden is afraid of him. I'm all for it, but he doesn't deserve to be on the stage because he has no numbers. So that was his ridiculous, like, double-sided tweet. But then it came out, a Trump campaign official came out and said that Trump had requested, as part of the conditions from CNN, that RFQ not be involved in the thing, and got assurances from, he would not sign it until he got an assurance that RFQ would not be on the stage. So Trump is afraid of RFQ being in the debate, not Biden. It was more projection, as we used to it, but it just, I think that guy's probably fired today, or he will have a new name like dipshit or whatever Trump gives him. But it's just funny, like, he's afraid of RFQ. Any comment on that from you guys? The RFQ galley.
Well, he's stealing right now. In the beginning, Kennedy was taking more votes, or maybe equal votes. It depends on the demographic. He was stealing a lot of Biden's younger supporters, but he was stealing more votes from Trump, and that's been recently. Matter of fact, Trump had not attacked RF Kennedy for the longest time, until he found out that Kennedy was actually taking more votes from him than from Biden, and then Trump began to attack Kennedy.
Well, not to totally disagree with you, but I think it's always been that. My assumption right from the start, because I follow a lot of these fucking nimrods on Twitter, is that they was taking more from Trump right from the beginning. Because why would he be taking from Biden when they are not even on? I know Kennedy identified as a Democrat forever and was running as a Democrat originally before he went independent. But he doesn't. It's not like on the same side of any issue.
Well, it depends. It depends. For young people, sometimes they're just looking to be rebellious. It's like, I'm voting against my dad, and Biden is like my dad, so I'm going to vote for Kennedy. The other thing is that the far left, there are many far left people who are anti-vaxxers as well, just for different reason. That the right are anti-vaxxers. So there are, but it's not, like I said, it's not a huge preponderance of Democrats. But in the beginning, it looked like that. And also, Democrats, or people who tend to vote Democrat, a little bit more open-minded and more malleable. So they may start with a candidate and they can be weaned away. More conservative-leaning people latch onto a candidate, and it's pretty hard to move them off of it because they've already made up their mind once they start latching.
I see a lot of people who are saying this is why I'm off of Trump and on to RFQ. They don't call him RFQ on Twitter. But you know what? A lot of these could be bots. A lot of these could be like fake accounts and stuff. So you can't really trust any of that stuff. You can't trust anything anymore.
Well, I mean, it's the same with the polls right now. They're like, Trump leads in this poll and blah blah blah. But it's like, where's the data coming from? And it's fucking May. It's May. And why aren't we talking more about who gives a shit really about the election? I don't think Trump really wins, but why aren't we talking about when that happens? What's going to happen? Is it just going to be him just being another shit show because they're already saying, like, if he doesn't win, he's saying it's rigged already. So why are we even bothering?
Well, that's the whole thing of taunting the fake polls and that stuff, and the rally numbers and all that stuff is prepping. I mean, they've already said it's rigged. Why are you running if you believe there's no chance to do it without rigging? And listen, the bottom line is the question they need to answer: if the Democrats have the have the power to rig elections, why wasn't Hillary Clinton president?
Yeah.
Why isn't she still president? Because she would still be president.
Or Gore.
I'm just tired of listening to an elderly man-child complain.
Yeah,
it's Matt's show. You have to listen.
Then what? Then if he dies or something, is this just going to be a bit that his family, like his idiot sons, pick up? Like, blah,
I don't think the core cult members have the same affinity for Don Jr. or Eric. Possibly Ivanka. She has, maybe some of them, but I don't
Yeah,
think.
I almost feel like that Trump family, they got what they wanted out of the government and all the connections and all the backdoor deals. I think that family got all of that, but it's like the elderly dad, because he's just a terrible person and needs to keep himself out of trouble. It's just very desperate for an old, supposedly rich white man to be going through this. I mean,
Yeah.
do better.
Now, yesterday when he came out in the middle of the day for his daily political campaigning in the middle of his trial there, he shout out to Vlad and Z, my good friends. I know them well. They talking about Putin and Z, XEI, over there in China. They're the same people who just say, "Oh, the Russia stuff was all fake." Don't see him kissing Vladimir Putin's ass every fucking opportunity he gets, and refuses to say, "Oh, but it's he's showing you his fucking idolization of Putin every time he speaks about him." Oh no, it's all fake stuff, man. But really, do you not hear him fucking brown nosing Putin all day long? And that's what he did yesterday in the middle of his little campaign.
I just wish Trump was a real man instead of just a spineless baby. But that's
Yeah.
Oh, Top Flight sent his dad's picture.
Let's see.
So let me pull it up here.
Wait, I have it. Hold on. Let me zoom in on it. There it is. Wow. I'm sorry.
It's kind of close, actually. He was not wrong.
That was stupid.
I would like to think he knows what his dad looks like. What?
Oh no, GD's not fucking buff like that. That guy looks like he looks like he's been pumping GD. Like he bench presses GD or everything. Look at the fucking body on this guy. I'm getting hard. I don't know about you guys.
I've become engorged myself.
The image was a little small for me, so I couldn't tell, but I didn't.
That was
I don't
kind of
see it.
big for you, if you know what I mean. Very manly, not girly, like you. Not all girly like you. Interesting.
Yeah, I know. Strong enough to be called a man, but made for a woman.
Are you strong enough to be my man? Cheryl Crow, speaking of strong enough, has been doing some stuff on Instagram lately. Like, you know what? It's weird because independent artists, that's what we do. I mean, you don't have a record label, but somebody who's had record deals all her life, to see them on the same level as TikTokers now, doing their stuff from their bedroom. I have a new song I just wrote. It's kind of weird for me seeing somebody who's had Grammys doing here's my new song from my bedroom or from my living room type of stuff on an acoustic guitar. I don't know. It's just
why not? It's all acceptable now.
Yeah, I guess, and there's no radio play, right? Nobody gets, and you can't get on the radio unless you're payola, whatever you want to call it, part of the Clear Channel approved paid rotation of cookie cutter Taylor Swift sound-alikes and all that kind of stuff. Yesterday, I don't know who brought it up. Was it Steven that brought it up? The Taylor Swift stuff. The NFL.
Yes, that was me. Yeah.
The NFL is tailoring their schedule so that she could be at the maximum number of games, right? Or so it can be as many games as possible.
What?
Yeah, and why not?
Right.
She's the biggest.
Look at
she's
bigger reaction. That was my reaction at first. But continue, Ron. I'm sorry.
Yeah, she's bigger than the NFL essentially. I mean, yeah, there's betting and shit like that, but as an entity and just a single person, she eclipses the NFL when she's at those games. And so they want her there. Why wouldn't they want her there?
She's she got a lot of ratings. People were tuning into the NFL again, like numbers that they hadn't seen in years, just to see her and her boyfriend. It's kind of a weird thing.
And plus, she brings in new fans. There are all these young women watching football. And if you're the NFL, you're like, shoot it in my face, that's what they want.
So does that mean she can't like pick up a show? I mean, I'm pretty sure that she's like booked in advance, way in advance. But let's say there's a game
she's not picking up any like bar gigs on a.
But you understand what I'm saying? But even though she's a big star, things are still fluid. Things move around still. I mean, she may need to reschedule something, move something somewhere else because of weather or traffic and airplane availability. Her pantyhose ran, or there's a run on pantyhose.
I feel like she's big enough. Everything revolves around her schedule, so I don't think that's gonna ever be a thing until she falls off.
She has her own airport. She has her.
Thank God I don't watch NFL anymore. I can't.
Yeah, when you're an artist and you can go into a major city and change their economics for a week and bring in so much money.
I understand that. I did that at Hanover just yesterday. I know.
No, I don't think you are kidding. Let me bring up.
And plus, I love that how all these old guys, especially like old white guys, are afraid of her. Like they don't get it. That makes me laugh. That makes me laugh.
I think the thing that makes me laugh is the people that complain about Taylor Swift don't even realize how little they even really show her. I think somebody did like a timer on one of the last NFL games. They only showed her for I think 3 minutes of the entire broadcast. Total of because they would pan to her for like 10 seconds at a time.
And that's all.
Yeah, but still, do you know how much money if you were a corporation and they gave you 3 minutes of exposure? Do you know how much money that would be? You'd have to pay for that.
But I still feel like it's actually more beneficial for the NFL than it is for Taylor Swift.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That's why
I don't know that they're moving. I don't know that they're moving more product. I don't know how many. I don't know.
They're exposing more product for people.
I'm not. Look, believe me. If I knew about finances, I'd probably be a more richer individual. But I don't. There's just something in my gut that just says this is wrong.
It's definitely odd and weird, but
no, she's the biggest pop star. It's kind of like when Michael Jackson was a thing before he started touching and things like that. He was, but she's even bigger than that because of the money that she generates. And you're right, Steven. It's only like 3 minutes, but that's all. It's not even really about if she's seen on screen. Just the fact that she's there. Just the fact that the Swifties know that she's there, because now the Swifties are online on Twitter and all that shit posting, oh, are they going to show Taylor? Are they going to show Taylor? Once again, that's millions of people talking about the NFL. It's all
okay. Here it is. Here's the deal. It's just simple supply and demand. Okay. Taylor Swift, I know, drives a lot of market things, and she gets involved with something, the market value goes up. So she's with an NFL player. His market value goes up. Now, all the Swifties want an NFL player of their own. The market value goes up, and then the regular women won't be able to get their own NFL player. I'm sorry. She just ruined it. No, they're causing inflation.
That's a good and stupid point. I thank you for that.
Well, you notice how no one ever complains about the celebrities they show at NBA games, for example.
There you go. No one. I complain. Actually, I used to. I don't watch it anymore.
Depends on if you like them or don't like them.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if I like them or not.
It's become like a part of the NBA experience is you get to see the celebrities that are at the game, whether it's Will Ferrell or a musician or a comedian.
By the way, if you don't follow Sam Morrill, you know what? Sam Morrill is
he a reverend?
He's a comedian.
Well, with a name like Sam Morrill, you'd think he'd be a reverend.
All right. You would think he would be, but he's Jewish.
Okay, a rabbi.
Okay, but he's like I'm living vicariously through his passion for the New York Knicks because on Twitter he follows the games. He's like doing in-game comment. He'd be on stage checking the Knicks score. What he's doing a set and he's checking the Knicks score in the game on his phone. It's just great to see somebody care about something that much. But coming back to the Taylor Swift thing, she's had a lot.
I get no love. I get no credit. During my sets, I check out myself on my phone to see how I'm doing on TikTok while I'm doing my
you're
sets.
not doing well. I could tell you. You don't have to check. You're bombing. But Taylor Swift has had a lot of relationships that have obviously not worked out. The pressure seems to be on this Travis Kelce guy not to fucking blow it because the NFL has probably pressuring him. I mean, the Chiefs are probably don't fucking blow it because first of all, you're going to end up in one of her songs, and then all the Swifties are going to be fucking talking about how your dick is only 3 inches long. But you're going to blow it for the league. You can't do it for the team in the league. You have to.
This is the perfect storyline because.
Yep.
Because they have now Taylor, they got Travis Kelce. The Chiefs this season will be going for a three-peat in the Super Bowl. It's all lined up. That's perfect storylines for the entire season.
What if
Taylor's
they
there.
out?
Then if they win, that is just a slam dunk for the NFL.
And then
that's
when
in mid-season. Here's a scenario I want you to address. They break up in mid-season, and then the Chiefs don't make it.
No, there's something even worse than that, Matt. Something even worse than that. The fact that the NHL and Major League Baseball and the MLB and Major League Soccer, they are all sending men over to trying to woo Taylor Swift away from Travis Kelce.
The Mets could use her.
I mean, they're all these other, and even like the curling teams have sent men to woo her away just to get their ratings up. It's not. That's what I'm saying. It's not right.
She's not going for a curler.
Here's what I see happening. I see all these greedy hands, right, are going to be in on this. They're going to want the Chiefs to win the Super Bowl again. They want Travis to propose to Taylor, and then there's going to be a big wedding that's going to be a huge thing that they're probably going to sell tickets to watch, and it's going to be $1 billion thing, and it's all going to be thanks to Travis Kelce.
No. In true NFL spirit, in true NFL spirit, it's the backups to Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce that will actually be doing the wedding. So that they'll be doing 2 weddings. They'll have like the practice squad for the civilians, for the lower tier people, and then they will be doing their proper ceremony for the rich elite people. I'm sorry, it's just the fix. It's a fix. I can't.
Did you say elite?
You say you're sorry, but you're not sorry. You're happy. You're happy about it.
I can't be part of this. I can't. I'm glad
I was just going to say, we can all sleep well knowing that the NFL and Taylor Swift will be making a shit ton of money in the upcoming season.
They are taking money out of my mouth because people are going to be going to see them instead of my shows.
Well, that's me popping in. She is very much a philanthropist, and you know what? I don't have any problem with her making lots of money because she puts it all to good causes and stuff.
No, I'm not like a Taylor Swift fan, but like from an artist standpoint, she's fucking amazing because she went through this whole shit about getting her rights back to her music and undercutting a guy named Scooter. So right there is worth it.
Right. Yeah.
Well, I admire her business acumen. I do, and even though I'm not into her music. Is that Tom Brady after the roast?
I gotta turn off the sound here. Now, this is a guy smoking 50 joints at once.
Why?
Exactly. That was my question. Why? I mean, I don't know if you guys have ever tried the marijuana or not. I have tried it recently. I want to confess that here that I have.
I too have tried it very recently as well.
And it seems to me that you can't get like more high by.
I was about to say the only thing that I see going on here is that the room is getting more high than he is. Because look at
Right.
all that residual secondhand smoke that is
It's a
just getting.
very expensive. Well, maybe he's not the only one smoking it. It looks like they're passing it around. This guy, it's just his turn. Like this big device that he's. But again, it's like a big waste of a lot of money. Look at all that smoke that's going
Yeah,
into the
that's what
air.
I'm talking about. They need one of those capture devices that they have on smokestacks at factories to just capture that smoke and recycle it and use it for something other than wasted. That's just wasted high. I'm sorry.
Yeah, just
Man,
remarkable.
I feel so old now.
It's like a Cheech and Chong movie gone bad.
That's why I hate potheads. I mean, I try.
Wow.
Yeah, I do. Like the culture of potheads is terrible. It's like take it easy. We all know you like it. I like it, but like, yeah, they just get too into it. Then they kind of then they start having the dank smell, which slides into the realm of BO and things like that.
No, I don't disagree. I think there's no excuse to not be able to enjoy it while still being a productive, not gross citizen of society.
Yeah. Well,
like look at Matt, for example. Perfect example.
Well, here's the thing. I understand what Ron just said, but when I was in the 70s, I was that Beavis and Butthead, just living for the, my life was one big Cheech and Chong movie. And then for most of my adult life, it wasn't. And then I had a stroke, and they put me on this fucking medication that made me all, and I didn't like it. So I said, you know what? Instead of this, I'm just going to keep my blood pressure down. I'm going to go back to smoking lots of weed. And then I became that 15-year-old fucking Beavis and Butthead. Because in the recent past, I get all sorts of advertisements, and it's like pot porn that they send you. Like, look at this white dripping weed. And so like the white weed. That was my thing for a week. Like, oh, look at this stuff, white weed. And I'm, if I could get more white weed, I would do it. So I'm kind of back to that 15-year-old pothead now, like, enthusiast. It's a good hobby.
I was gonna say at our relative ages, we could probably say enthusiast instead of just.
But I would never do what that Duke just did with the 50 joints. To me, that's like a waste of money, a waste of time.
It hurt my heart to watch him waste it because that 50 joints, I would be good for like 2 months.
Right. Me too.
Let's go. You know what I'm saying? Like that's craziness.
Yeah.
Oh, I have a defender of Harrison Butker. If you want to hear it.
Oh yeah.
It's from TikTok.
Is it that dude?
Yes.
That orange head dude.
Yeah.
Got a response from him?
No, I haven't got I've been digging in because
he's like a William Montgomery wannabe. This guy.
The kicker on the Kansas City Chiefs. He said to have babies and to be in healthy relationships. Is that how you get views on TikTok? Just everyone says the same thing. Oh no, the kicker. Oh, did you know he has butt in his last name? There's butt in his last name because he's butt. Did you know that even though he's a successful multi-millionaire, he's only on special teams and he only kicks the ball? Even though he has more money than me, did you know that even though he has all his hair, he's balding? Oh, can I get my followers now that I agree with you idiots? Oh.
Wow. Mike Chavola, if you're still looking, what that guy just did, that he's holding up a mirror to you with Trump. Whether this is your behavior. I just want you to, from the outside looking in case you haven't seen yourself, that is how you are with Donald Trump. You defend him to no end, even when he's wrong in that manner.
Welcome I found another great one by this guy.
Yeah. All right. Why
this
not?
One's about Premature. Where'd it go? You son of a bitch. There it is.
Hi, this is Bradley Bliss, top dating coach in America. So, premature exaggeration is a term that was created by feminists to emasculate men. And the truth is about all of this is that really for effective intercourse, you don't need more than 2 minutes. If you know what you're doing, you don't need more than 2 minutes because she is well satisfied. 2 to 4 minutes tops. Every woman I've been with has been satisfied. So,
or had enough. It's different than being satisfied.
People put on things, and when you focus on my methods that I teach, then you're going to notice that all the women that you're with are very satisfied in a very little amount of time.
Very little amount of time. They've had enough in a very little amount of time. Now, somebody should challenge this guy to show a woman that he's been with in any one of these videos, because I guarantee every single.
I don't think his sister likes the publicity.
Yes.
No, that's honestly the direction I was kind of going. Was like it's probably his sister.
Yeah. I was just
creeps
gonna.
me out.
I was just gonna say they probably can't talk because it's pending charges from the house they escaped.
I don't think he's ever really been with a woman. That's what I'm saying. I think because you can talk a good game, but this nonsense braggadocio stuff that you hear all these guys, every guy I've ever met who brags about their prowess with women is if they're with a woman, it looks like a dude. I've never seen him with a hot chick ever. So, wow. That guy is typical of the cult member type of stuff. Now, I didn't see anybody crying or just pointing out that what a retard that Harrison Butker is. First of all, talking about how women should not be educated. His mother is a physicist, a doctor of physics, who taught at a major college and raised him without a woman actually being the breadwinner. He would not have had a college education, would have not.
That's probably what his problem is. He didn't get enough time with mommy. So she was out earning things and having a life, and he wanted to, he wanted the more tit time.
I commented on a news story about this, and it got people really fired up because I was like, tell us you have CTE without telling us you have CTE. And there were people commenting, it's like, but he's a kicker. He's just a kicker. It's like, he could still have CTE. It doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah.
No, actually, probably more likely because he's pretty frail. Kickers, I mean, if you look at him, he's not like really built to take a hit from a linebacker.
Normally
a linebacker running at 30 miles an hour, because they generally get up a full head of steam when they hit the kicker. Roughing the passer, that's the reason that rule is in effect, because these guys were getting
murdered.
Concussion.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, every season it happens where there's that one play where the guy's returning it and the kicker's got to try and stop him, and the kicker just gets plowed right over.
The only exception to that for a long time that I can remember is Pat McAfee was the last one that could take on a returner and give him some heat.
Yeah.
Do we have anything today? You guys got any entertainment news? Any of that kind of stuff?
Yeah, I got some entertainment news.
I just want to say yesterday, I forgot. The alarm went off, and I never said goodbye to Govs. And we were 10 minutes overtime, and still stepping on their broadcast. My bad. Tony doesn't know it yet, but now he does. Once somebody tell him.
we'll do observances, and that should lead us up to being able to say goodbye to Govs, and we can pass it to Ron for.
Okay, do some observances here, and
Yeah.
we'll get you some intro music for that. I'm not going to play music because for some reason it was interfering with your voice yesterday. So let's just here now with what to observe is our chief observance correspondent, Stephen Ortiz.
All right, man. Let's get it going. We're gonna start right off here with a little bit of Endangered Species Day. All right, so for tigers and chinchillas and all sorts of stuff, you know. Let's see here. Oh my God, why am I so big?
Moderate Republicans, are they an endangered species?
Sure. Also, today's National Pizza Party Day.
All right.
So for those of you that work your asses off for nothing more than a pizza party, this day's for you.
Well, that's you know what, I like pizza parties. I'm all for that.
I never complained about them myself. I enjoyed them.
Yeah,
like pizza.
Most of the country, it means cardboard sock day. Cardboard sock with ketchup on it day.
Yeah. Fortunately, that is true.
In New York, it's pizza party day.
I think Chicago has better pizza, but we'll get to that later. All right.
Yeah, you laugh. Go ahead, laugh. That's funny.
National Walnut Day. Ooh.
Yeah, no, GD's gonna put that in his act. That's so funny.
No, it's too funny for my act, Matt. You should know better. It's too funny for my act.
It says so funny, right, in your brand.
Yeah, but not too funny.
Oh.
I don't want too funny, just so funny.
So funny. Okay.
Yeah.
Bike to school day. So
what?
Bike to school day. Ride your bike to school.
Won't that depend on the neighborhood?
100%, because my kids could not ride to school from where I live. They'd get hit by several cars. So,
damn.
In my neighborhood, everybody's bike would have got stolen. Bike to school day, and then somebody would hear that and just like wait for the kids to go in, and like I got 40 new bikes or 200 new bikes.
Bike for sale, crazy prices, crazy low prices.
Yeah. Continue.
Now, I don't know if these were put side by side for joking purposes or not, but today is also International Child Helpline Day. So,
Child Helpline.
Yep.
Is that because they had their bike stolen? Is that because they had their bike stolen and now they need a ride home from school?
Child Helpline.
Yeah, I'm not sure. International Child Helpline Day takes place annually to celebrate the work of child helplines. So, child trafficking, child whatever. Yeah.
I'm all for that.
What you're all for child trafficking or
child labor or the helplines?
Yeah, what are you for? That was like a very ambiguous statement.
I know it was. I have the right to remain silent.
But not the ability.
Not the ability.
He prefers the out of context answer. Thank you.
Yes.
Hey, fun fact about child labor. In the past couple years, in red states, in very conservative states, those governments have loosened the restrictions on child labor laws so they can have children working.
Man, no, Idaho, it's now you can actually be a bartender at 4 years old. I'm not kidding. Like what? I like. Is this for real? But I looked it up, and yes, so 4-year-olds can start working, and they are allowed to work in bars. I mean, probably can't really.
But to be fair, that makes sense why you'd want abortion ban, because you need toddlers working at McDonald's.
Yeah.
And Nike. Okay. Also today is International Day Against Homophobia, Transphobia, and Biphobia.
Only one day?
All in one day. Yep. You got to accept them all in one day, GD. I'm sorry. You can't pick and choose this time.
But I can reject them tomorrow.
Yes, just not today.
Okay. All right. Just checking.
Biphobia.
So if you have any of those phobias.
I just wanted to
biphobia?
say biphobia.
That's the first I've actually ever heard that word.
Yeah, that's why I said it. I mean, I think that is absolutely the first time I've ever heard that word used. And listen, A year ago I typed into Substack a thing. I've been a homophobe pretty much my whole life. Doesn't mean I hate homosexuals, and it doesn't mean I'm really afraid of homosexuality. It means leave me one-on-one in a room with a gay guy, I feel really uncomfortable. I feel like he's going to hit on me because I am catnip to old women and gay dudes. And so I can be friends with a gay guy, but don't leave me in a room alone with him, because if he does try to hit on me, it's going to make me really uncomfortable. Like, because my instinct would be like, get the fuck away from me, dude. And then it's like, now we can't be friends because he fucking made me really creeped out. So on that level, I admit to some level of homophobia, and that didn't get me as much hate as I thought it would get. Just penning a little article about that. But you know what? Those old habits die young. So I don't have anything against homosexuals. I believe they should have all the rights that we have. I believe they shouldn't be discriminated against. But don't leave me in a room alone with one homosexual. In a room with like a group of them. I've been in that room because I was in the hair and beauty industry, and believe me, I've been in that room with like 10 gay guys and me. It's not as uncomfortable if you leave me one-on-one with them. I'm a little freaked out. All right, so now send me a hate mail. Go ahead, we'll continue.
I got one last one, and we can say goodbye to Govs. The last one is National